Hey guys, this is Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and I'm bringing you a game of Sabotage on Quarry. So, in terms of opening routes here, when I'm on Domination, I like to get to Bravo second. I find that whoever gets to Bravo first is just a baby buffalo waiting to be slaughtered, and whoever gets there second takes home the prom queen. So I'll usually jump over the rocks if I'm on this side, and get to Bravo second. This is another spot. That guy, he might be an example of someone who got to Bravo first. And then this window is not as safe as it looks. It's kind of nice in that you have a height advantage. Look at this. Missed. So let's look at that again in slow motion. Not even a hit marker. So that to me is the downside of the AK. I really like the AK. Up close it's not bad. But at mid distance the AK is really hard to beat. And at full distance like that, the AK, it's like the bullets die. You know, they don't actually die. But, you know, the analogy I use is, you know, when you're at like a circus or a carnival and the guy throws knives around the woman and outlines her without ever actually hitting her, the AK is brilliant at getting that done. And one way to fix it, and this works with the UMP too, is to rapid fire on the trigger, and, you know, like you would on a striker, the semi-automatic shotgun, and that helps a lot. I didn't do it in that case, and maybe it would have helped me. So here I don't normally run attack insertions, but I had it on this class and dropped it there. Now I'm fighting for my life, hoping that no one kills me and camps my attack insertion afterwards. Anyway, that window at the top of the hall there is not as good as you might think it is. Because they destroyed my attack insertion, which was almost an act of kindness. It's kind of like a doorway, and if you're new to first-person shooters, sometimes it's tempting to stand in a doorway and think that, you know, you're covered, or maybe you have your sides covered or something like that. But a better way to think of doorways is to think of them as, you know, the rings on the bullseye. They just sort of outline the target that your enemy needs to shoot at, and they don't provide any cover whatsoever. And it's easy to think that they do, but they don't. So there I was trying to nade somebody because I'm not used to having attack insertions equipped. And here, look at this. So I saw that guy. I knew that he saw me. And I was like, alright, he wants to engage on the side here in a fair fight. And I found a way to make it unfair. I found a way to go to the side. So this spot I'm in here, even though I don't get this kill, is pretty good. So for the most part, being low center in a map is a bad characteristic. You don't want that. But this is like the one exception I found, where you can be low center, and it's actually a half decent place to hang out and get your kills. So the reason I chose this game, I think Socrates saved my life there. The reason I chose this game is not because it's super beastly. I really like games where I feel like I'm the team player that did a lot to get it done, and that's not the case here. I'll talk about that in a minute. It's that I had a lot of subscribers say that they were having a hard time sort of figuring out Quarry, and it was something I could really relate to. Sorry about that. Something I could really relate to, because in COD 4 I was slow to figure out backlot. Something about backlot just mixed up in my head, and I couldn't seem to navigate it in a way where you know, I wasn't that baby buffalo, like getting shot from the side and running across the open and doing my thing. It was a big struggle for me. So I thought, alright, here's a game where I kind of use the Quarry map somewhat effectively, and I can help with that. So you'll notice that I guess you could say I let them defuse the bomb there. Oh, let's talk about this. I made a mistake. I dropped the Harriers right on the bomb site, and in my head I was thinking, alright, you know, we're going to be planting this thing, everything's going to be cool. But in actuality, they had cleaned out my team and they were running the bomb back to my bomb site. So I put the Harriers in the wrong spot and they get nothing. So always disappointing when that happens, but it happens a lot. So anyway, I had a hard time with backlot, figuring out how to navigate that map and to use it, and I have a lot of subscribers who feel the same way about Quarry. So I was like, alright, you know what, I remembered that I used that spot below the stairs somewhat effectively, got some kills, worked my way to a kill streak, and watch this. So I see that guy up there, and it would be tempting to jump up higher, but I did a much better job of controlling the engagement by staying low, not jumping high and giving him more to shoot from. And in that case I did sort of rapid fire the trigger and use it like I would a striker, and that's why it was on target like that. It works so much better. So I can train myself to do it all the time with these long shots. Then, you know, the dream is the AK is like an AK mid-distance and a FAMAS from a far distance, which would be super. So this is one spot that is good on this map. You can hang out here and watch them come out and shoot them through the bottom of that grate. And then in here itself is another pretty good spot that you can hang out. So I don't do a lot to help the team win other than get a bunch of kills, and there's a reason for it. The game before this, Junkyard, you guys probably know Junkyard is on Machinima a lot, he's a big time commentator. I felt like I had embarrassed myself by going 1-4 in this quickie little game. And I was like, all right, next game I'm going to get a good score, even if that means, you know, not putting myself at risk, you know, like you would to win the game every time. So I kind of let my team win while I sit here and rack up kills, and now I'm going to use this video to show you guys how to get some kills. This is a great spot to hang out. In Domination, if they were to have the C flag and you have AB, then you can hang out here and you know, own this building. You can take it from them. You have a pretty nice advantage. As they come in, they're so exposed. But as you come in, not so exposed. So I kill that guy who's about to defuse the bomb. Take this guy and then try to exert some map control. So basically I'm just sitting here owning this building, and I gather a Harrier and use that to hold the bomb. You can see there's no blue triangles near the bomb site, but the kill streak kind of held that bomb, and it's going to end this game. So the takeaways from this, if I could bring them down to 3, are this is a pretty good spot. You can hang out here and hold it, and it works the same way in Domination if you have the AB flags. And the bottom of the stairs is a pretty good spot. And the AK and the UMP are pretty accurate over distance if you rapid fire the trigger like a striker, compared to just holding down the trigger. So I forgot the game lasted a second or two. Anyway, that's my quarry game, and the next thing I want to talk about, you know, even if it's just briefly, is Hupit Gaming. So we launched this thing. It's been wildly successful, and I'll show you around real quick. So there are two main sections of the company at this point. One is sharing gamer tags, and one is the forums. So sharing gamer tags. This thing has been successful way beyond any of the previous attempts to do sharing gamer tags. You can see it has over 3,000 users. The previous high had been around 1,000. And if you go to the search criteria here, we've added a bunch of new stuff that you guys have asked for. People have asked for a searchable microphone field. People have asked for some changes on the way that we hook people up. You know, we had previously done time zone, now we do region, and that's a good idea because, you know, time zones stretch through the entire hemisphere. And a lot of people didn't know their time zone, but everyone knows that they're in Europe. Everyone knows that they're in Africa, etc. So that's been a big win. And the last thing is a couple of games. So even games that aren't really huge, like Modern Warfare. If you look for Modern Warfare players, it always worked, right? There are always a lot of players that are doing that. But now, you know, I can go to Blacklight Tango Down and find run that search, and the search is super quick. And there's 174 people on Blacklight Tango Down. So if you're in the spot where you know, hey, you just bought this new game, but you know your friends didn't buy it yet, and you want someone to play with, boom, you know, there are so many people in here that there's always a good amount of guys to play with. Even when we add new games, it immediately pops up. For the PC crowd, we added Counter-Strike, and then we have Gears of War 2 Battlefield. I meant to say Modern Warfare 2 Battlefield. We're catering to the PC crowd too, and it's going really well. The other thing is the forum. So if you go over to the forum, I always see between 50 and 150 people online. Oh, looks it's below 50 right now, but that's because I'm doing this super late at night. This thing has been booming. The site in general, and I should talk about that, has been booming way beyond where we thought it was going to be, and so we've had to adjust a couple of things. I know a lot of you guys had trouble not getting the registration email. So that's fixed. We have new capacity on the email server, so we can handle all that. We've taken everybody who didn't get the email, authorized form, as if you had clicked that, you know, authorize your email button here. We took care of it for you. So if you come back to the site, it'll work for you, and that's super. And going forward, email server has unlimited capacity, so that's great. Some of you guys may have come to the site on the first day and found that the site was down because of all the traffic. So we upgraded the host, and now we can handle the traffic. Now all you guys can come to us, and we're good to go. So anyway, check out the site. It's going huge. We've added a whole bunch of new features. Every day it seems we do 5-10 things in response to community feedback, and add the things that you want. And then there's so much more coming that is going to be cool. Okay, and one last thing to bring up is I did a dual commentary a few days ago with Junkyard, and there'll be a link to that dual commentary in the description. You can go check it out and enjoy.